You pray for halal rizq. You avoid riba. You pay zakat. But what if your wealth is still rotting? Today, Halal Wallet exposes 5 shocking ways Muslims unknowingly earn haram money and how to fix them before it's too late.
Trap number 5. Halal ETFs with haram stocks. Many funds claim Sharia compliance by checking debt ratios, but ignore haram revenue.
For example, the Wealth Simple Shariah World Equity Index ETF holds Coca-Cola Company, which owns alcohol brands like Bilson.
The next example, under this category, is Wahid FTSE USA Shariah ETF, which holds Meta, Facebook, which earns revenue from gambling ads.
Muslims invest in these ETFs thinking they're safe, but their wealth grows from haram sources, invalidating their worship. Even 1% haram revenue is haram income. Use apps like Musaffa to check every stock, or invest in ETFs that ban unethical practices entirely. Don't let a fancy label trick you. Up next, the trap number 4. Crypto's dirty energy secret, why your Bitcoin might be haram.
Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum rely on energy-intensive mining processes, often powered by fossil fuels like coal. This contributes to environmental harm, which directly contradicts Islamic principles of environmental stewardship and ethical wealth generation.
Bitcoin used the POW consensus mechanism, where miners solve complex puzzles to validate transactions. This requires massive computational power, leading to high electricity use. Bitcoin's annual energy consumption equals 150 terawatt hours, rivals that of entire countries like Argentina. Carbon emissions, 65% of Bitcoin mining relies on fossil fuels, especially coal in countries like China, Kazakhstan, and Iran. A single Bitcoin transaction uses almost 1,400 kilowatt hours of electricity, enough to power an average US household for 50 days. Quran explicitly condemns environmental destruction. ظهر الفساد في البر والبحر بما كسبت أيدي الناس ليذيقهم بعض الذي عملوا لعلهم يرجعون. Corruption has appeared on land and sea because of what the hands of people have earned.
How Muslims fall into this trap. The first one is misleading claims. Crypto influencers promote Bitcoin as halal without addressing energy sources. The second is ignorance of tech. Many Muslims don't understand how proof of work versus proof of stake works. The third is greed. High returns from Bitcoin blind investors to its environmental cost.
How to avoid the trap. Use tools like the Cambridge Bitcoin, Electricity Consumption Index, or Green Crypto Web to check if a coin uses renewable energy. You've heard Bitcoin is halal, but here's the truth. Bitcoin mining burns more coal than entire countries, polluting Allah's earth. Every dollar you earn from it could be tainted. Switch to eco-friendly coins or walk away. Your wealth must honor the planet, or it's not halal.
Up next, we're going to discuss the trap number 3, your pension, funds, weapons, the silent sin in your retirement savings.
Most default pension plans automatically invest in industries like weapons manufacturing, alcohol, gambling, and tobacco, all prohibited in Islam. Unless you actively opt out, your retirement savings could be funding violence, addiction, and harm, making your wealth spiritually tainted. Why it's a trap. Pension funds prioritize profit over ethics. For example, Vanguard Target Retirement Fund, a popular U.S. pension fund, holds shares in Lockheed Martin, the weapons manufacturer, and Diageo, an alcoholic beverage company. UK's National Employment Savings Trust, Nest, invests in Rio Tinto, which is a mining company. Also, Canada Pension Plan, CPP, holds $1.2 billion in Northrop Grumman, which manufactures nuclear weapon systems.
How to fix it. 1. Demand a Sharia-compliant pension. Many employers and governments offer ethical pension options. Examples: Wahed Invest Halal Pension, Amana Funds, HSBC Amana.
Second one, audit your current pension. Use tools like Musaffa to screen your pension's holdings for haram stocks.
Third, divest and redirect. If no halal option exists, withdraw funds and reinvest in halal assets like gold and real estate.
Your pension could be your biggest sin. While you dream of retirement, your savings might be building bombs or brewing alcohol.
Next trap under the list is rental income from haram businesses.
Earning rental income from tenants who operate haram businesses, for example, alcohol sales, gambling, pork products, makes your earnings impermissible in Islam, even if you're unaware of their activities. This trap exploits the misconception that as long as I own the property, the tenant's actions don't affect me.
Why it's a trap? Islam prohibits benefiting from haram activities, even indirectly. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, Allah has cursed alcohol. The one who drinks it, the one who pours it, the one who sells it, the one who buys it, the one who carries it, and the one it is carried to.
By renting to a haram business, you become part of this chain of sin. Another example is office spaces for haram startups. Tech startups involved in gambling apps, crypto scams, or adult content often lease office spaces. Earning rent from them taints your income. How to avoid it? By vetting tenants thoroughly, by including Sharia clauses in leasing, and by regular audits. You think your rental income is halal? Imagine this, your halal grocery tenant starts selling alcohol behind your back. Suddenly, your rent money is funding sin. Islam says you're responsible. The final trap, Islamic banks with interest backdoors. Some institutions labeled as Islamic banks use loopholes in contracts to charge interest, riba, disguised as service fees, profit rates, or administrative costs. These practices violate Sharia principles, trapping Muslims into haram transactions while believing their money is halal. Why it's a trap? Many Islamic banks tie their profit rates to conventional interest benchmarks like LIBOR, London Interbank Offered Rate. For example, a halal home loan charges 5% profit based on LIBOR plus 2%, mimicking conventional mortgages. Also, banks add processing fees, late payment penalties, or insurance costs that replicate riba. Allah has permitted trade and forbidden interest. Quran. Disguising riba as profit violates this clear command. How to avoid it? As the bank that, is their profit rate tied to LIBOR or interest benchmarks? Check if the bank's Sharia board includes respected scholars. Also switch to truly halal banks. Think your Islamic bank is safe? Think again. Many use profit rates tied to global interest, a clear riba loophole. Demand transparency, check for LIBOR links, or switch to banks like Gatehouse. Don't let a label trick you into haram. Don't let ignorance destroy your ahira. Take control of your finances by ensuring your income and investments align with Islamic principles. Got questions? Drop a comment below with halal, and let's continue the conversation. Until next time, stay halal, stay blessed.